that a lot of the other European squads will have difficulty dealing with. So hopefully for Fnatic, it wasn't just a one-time deal. Hopefully they are going to start playing this more aggressive early game playstyle. And, well, they really liked that Black Feather pick. It worked so well. Why not grab it again? First pick, though. Not sure if that's really worthy of that first slot.
They're really confident in it, so G2 should take Lyra and ban away that Arden. Do not give Fnatic that Arden combination with the Black Feather or whatever melee laner that wants to dive on their carry. So if I were G2, that's exactly what you should do. They should take away that Arden, because last game they banned Baptiste and Baron, and I feel like take Lyra, ban Arden, and then take Baron if Fnatic doesn't ban it. So let's see what G2 decides here with their draft. And Keanu Oko, like, I feel like Lyra wasn't his strongest hero. He's much stronger on like Catherine, Lance, so maybe they might switch this up here and not put him on the Lyra. Oh, and instead they're actually going to take away the Arden so that Fnatic doesn't get that combination. So if they take Arden, they need to ban Lyra here, because you don't want to give a team a CP Black Feather Lyra combination.
Yeah, Arden is actually the most picked hero for NetToilet as well, so taking away that comfort pick from their opponent and going to ban away the Lyra as well. And then Baron going to be the counterban from Fnatic.
To be fair, Arden's the most picked hero for a lot of captains in Europe.
Very true.
Is by far the most picked hero in all of Europe. But the Baron ban, I think, is really smart for Fnatic. It takes away the Baron from Hundor, who we know is a phenomenal Baron player, and it's going to force the side of G2 onto something that's maybe not quite as comfortable. A lot of the other laners, they've kind of been all over the place with who they select. They are going to go for the Idris. I would love to see one of these two teams. I would really like it on the G2 comp, just what they have, go for a Grumpjaw and just build a full weapon Grumpjaw. I think that it's just so strong at the moment, and no one in Europe is really running this.
Yeah, it's very difficult to shut down if you can get that ball rolling, especially in the early game for the first few minutes of the game. If you just get 1 or 2 kills, it's very difficult to deal with that damage coming out. Baptiste, though, going to be locked in for Fnatic, which, that could be a captain, or it could go in that jungle role and send Black Feather to lane.
And if they want to counter Idris hard, they should pick Catherine here, but they could go for maybe potentially Finn, but Catherine would make a lot of sense with Baptiste here, because that stun along with Baptiste CC would shut down Idris like completely, because Catherine is such a good counter into Idris. So let's see what Fnatic decides, because all the options, there's a few roamers they have. Lance makes sense, Finn makes sense, but out of all these options open, Catherine is definitely the best choice here.
So Catherine definitely open for them. And we have seen NetToilet play that Catherine in the past, I believe. So definitely available option. What would you look at for G2 to finish off the composition on their side of the board?
Even with the Baptiste there, I would love to see them grab a Grumpjaw. Weapon Grumpjaw with a Crystal Idris is massive. It does so much work that you have so much damage and you win the early jungle. That's the thing that G2 is going to have to be worried about, is Fnatic was so aggressive last game. They're very likely to try and do a similar thing here. Just get that Baptiste to level 2 very quickly, use Lance to kind of distract for that to happen, and then go for an invade. So they need something that can win the early jungle.
Yeah, Lance, another one of NetToilet's top played captains.
Yeah, because Lance picked Grumpjaw may not be the best option. It could still work, though. You could still run a weapon Grumpjaw potentially. But right here, I would probably weapon power the Idris and potentially pick a CP jungle hero that's good. Like, okay, so Rhyme's going to be picked here, which is perfect into this combination, because Rhyme, it counters Baptiste, because he can stand his ground and fight a Baptiste and a weapon Black Feather. So this works really well for G2.
Lance. All three of them are going to be, very short range for the side of Fnatic. So this Rhyme pick should actually pay off in spades for them.
This is going to be a bit of a brawl as well, because we've got a lot of melee across the board on both sides right now. This is going to be getting pretty messy when we come into these skirmishes.
Yeah, for sure, and that is where Rhyme excels. If you bunch up and get hit by his AoE Chill Winds, which is his root, and his Winter Spires, he's going to do a ton of damage and get a ton of fortified health. He'll be unkillable with Arden.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to try and dish out enough damage to break through that fortified health bar.
Yeah, going to be very hectic and chaotic fights. I mean, the longest range we have in this game is going to be Baptiste. and Batiste is not very long range, so it's definitely going to be a situation where everyone's grouped up. It's going to be very messy in these fights, and whoever can, kind of control that chaos the best will be who comes out on top.
Okay, so the big question then. Do we think G2 can pull back into this series? Do they have what it takes? Do they have the right composition to get themselves back onto the board and really make an impact and go to Game 3 here?
Yeah, I really love the coverage with Arden. They just got to dive in at Batiste and just blow him up, or Blackfeather. And with Rhyme, Idris, and Arden, that's a super heavy dive competition. I think G2 should win this if they play properly.
Okay.
Yeah, I absolutely think G2 very much has a chance to do it here, to get this series tied up and go to game number 3.
Okay, so we'll see whether this Rhyme has been a stroke of genius, like my analysts seem to think. 100% win rate, that is very true.
That's
Hashtag
true.
Vainglory is how you can let us know what your win rate is and who you're supporting coming into this one. G2 versus Fnatic. It's time to head into the second game of this quarterfinal.
Well, nothing like some biased analysts. Everybody going for G2, in this game here, thinking they can come back in this series. But it's like, have they thought about it, Shinyi? Have they thought about the fact that Fnatic have net Toilette, and how do you beat a player of this caliber?
That is a true question, but I don't know. I feel like I really do like the Rhyme pick. I feel like it is a stroke of genius, as he said, and it is going to be very difficult for Fnatic to combat this. But like you said, net Toilette on that lance, he's going to be pulling off those impales and those stuns, and this could be a very hard time for Dark Potato. But for Hundor, who's very mobile on that Idris, maybe it's not going to be so easy. But I think it just depends on how this game is going to play out.
Hundor does have a minion candy on his person,
Cheeky.
Ready to go, and we've seen, this is the third game today where we've seen that minion candy come out into the lane early on. I think Dynasty was the team that was doing it earlier. It's pretty good stuff. If you get a little help balancing your lane, if you can use that effectively, it'll buy you a lot of time.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does, and it kind of forces TechnoJJ to stay up in lane, be able to farm up as well, keep up with the farm. And it does mean it gives more. I think in terms of rotation, it gives G2 a little bit of advantage, because we're seeing right now Keanu Dark Potato, they're rotating up. The lane is very far pushed up, and TechnoJJ, he's losing a fair bit of damage from the minions as well.
Dark Potato boosted forward, a lot of damage coming out there as Potato was level 2 and actually found the root. And, a lot of people I was looking in chat, they were talking about how Potato is much more of a kind of, he likes to play bruisers, he likes to play up in your face and make things happen. So maybe this Rhyme will work out a little better for him here.
Yeah, definitely. You can see him going right up into the face of like Netwell and Palmatoro, and just really focusing on landing those roots every single time. He got the root there on TechnoJJ, but he was able to escape there because the rest of the Fnatic were able to rotate up in time. But we can see now G2, they're really punishing Fnatic in the lane, really forcing TechnoJJ and Netwell just to right under their turret. And it's kind of forcing TechnoJJ, it's giving him such a hard time trying to keep up in terms of farm. But I like this technique. I really do like it a lot, and I'm not expecting a lot of kills coming from G2 either at the start because of the composition that they're playing. This is one that I think typically does really well in the late game. Oh, the stun! There's
your impale. The Ordain's going to be coming out onto Keanu. Bad Mojo as well. And it looks like the bad boys Fnatic are going to be able to take Keanu down. Dark Potato making his way up into the lane, but he's a little bit late to the party.
A little bit too late, and it's...
Oh, Bad Mojo! Another impale. Hundor taking a lot of damage, but the Potato's into the mix. He's out with the Shroud's Dev. Look at that beautiful plays. Potato trying to get onto Palmatoro. Doesn't quite have what it takes here, and in the end, Fnatic get out clean.
Okay, so going back to what Fnatic are doing right now, I like what they're doing, because there's a Rhyme in the jungle. It's going to take a lot to try and burst him down. So what they're doing is they're going up to the lane, applying the pressure onto the lane, because they know that Rhyme's not there. They can pick up those kills. They almost picked up 2 there, but they got 1. So we're going to be seeing a lot of emphasis placed on the lane for the first
There's a lot of
minutes
emphasis
this game.
placed on these mid right now.
Don't know who's going to get it.
Palmatoro, come on. I thought he was going to get a little more aggressive in there. No harm, no foul. That was the smart play for sure. Hang back. He was only 1 attack off boosting though. He'll be back to take his backs while the Elder Treant and the fronts are taken by G2. So a nice little jungle rotation for them.
Nice rotation indeed. And I mean, 15. He may have lost that Treant there, but 15 to 20 Dark Potatoes there. We're seeing Fnatic here coming up to the lane again, but I feel like G2, they're hanging back. They do not want to be caught out by that Ordained again. That combination of Ordained and then the Impale is very unforgiving.
All right, it's going to be another Impale coming out. Bad Mojo as well. Ordain's going to land onto Keanu and Tetno, just hitting him as much as he can. That was a nice Vanguard back, which actually pulled Tetno forward as he had used that Fiend of Heart.
Yes, it did indeed. I feel like, because looking, just Dark Potato and Keanu, that combination is such a tanky composition. Like, especially once you get into the late game, once you start getting other items, it's going to be very, very difficult to burst him down. And actually, the same could be said for Techno, JJ, and Nettola as well. I feel like Palmator, he's going to be a bit more of a glass cannon. We see all of the Baptiste going for that Shattered Glass Clockwork combination. We've got this, like, high damage intensity that just is up very regularly.
Alright, well, Hundar hangs around the lane while Net Toilette waits in the wings of the Mustache Brush. Dark Potato throw out his Winter Spire, look to move forward. Level 5 now. And when we get the level 6 onto the Rhyme, that's kind of a bit of a game changer for him. Having that little bit of extra stun and burst, a lot of times is enough for his team to turn these fights. But we're also looking for Palmatora to hit that ultimate himself. Fearsome Shade can completely disrupt these fights. And as Bacon was saying, you know, the longest, there's not a huge amount of range in there. That Fearsome Shade is a very long range.
That Fearsome Shade, absolutely. And I think the cooldown's fairly, but the thing is, the cooldown is fairly long. But it's certainly an item that they can use to try and peel G2 away. You know, if you sense that Rhyme is getting a little bit too close, if you're at a risk of getting that root, you just throw that Fearsome Shade out. It gives your team a chance to back away from the fight and reevaluate how the fight's going to be going, if you want to engage or not.
Dark Potato, do you feel like engaging?
Yes, he does, I feel.
Or not?
No, he doesn't.
Bad Mojo's coming out, Spires come out the other way as Fnatic moves forward now. G2, they can't really pull the trigger and just take a target out unless Dark Potato's like just smack dab someone with a stun into a root potentially. But the Gauntlet plus the Rhyme is really where that control is going to come from. We're quite a ways away from having that happen.
Yeah, we are. So I think once we get that level 6 coming up from Keanu there, that we're going to be seeing a lot of opportunity. I mean, we do have Techno JJ, he is able to escape. I think there's going to be a lot of onus there onto Palmator and trying to trap him. And like you said, short range, it should be relatively easy for the members of G2 to do this. And I think if you're able to trap down that Palmator, I feel like he should be the main focus in those team fights. Because of the high mobility coming out from Blackfeather and Lance, they can be quite tricky to just pin down.
Well, we do have a big item pickup here. Dark Potato completing his Broken Myth. 6 minutes into this game, he will stack up quite a bit of damage if he's able to poke a little bit before they lock onto a target.
I definitely think so, and I feel like going back to what we're saying, we are really just waiting for for Keanu to reach that level 6 point, because if you can trap them into that Gauntlet, it's very easy and it's a very comfortable position for Dark Potato to be stacking up. And I feel like Fnatic, I mean, Palmator, he's just picked up a Shattered Glass himself, so that is also a major item swing there going towards Fnatic.
It definitely is. You gotta be careful, dude. Like, if Ordained gets put out onto Keanu and then he throws Gauntlet, half the time you're gonna have those Gauntlets, like, just cancelled off. You cancel it yourself. Or if you're caught, it's hard to reposition if you can't block it. We'll see, though. Right now, G2 kind of on the front foot, applying a bit of pressure here. Dark Potato throwing out his Spires, trying to build up the Broken Myth stacks a little bit. But you see, he's actually doing a pretty decent job as far as landing those. But there's just a lot of sustain on the other side. Tetno and Palmator are both capable of sustaining and regenerating themselves. Now there's going to be your Impale. Nothing to follow, though. Cheeky little Impale.
Yeah. I feel like Dark Potato, he's throwing out a lot of those Winter Spires, but Fnatic are doing a really good job of avoiding them, so he's not actually being able to build up those Broken Myth stacks up that well. And I think throwing out that many Winter Spires, it's fairly energy intensive. You can see how much has hit him already. He's less than half energy in there. He only has that energy battery as well. So I think maybe once he gets a little bit more, maybe upgrading that Void battery would help him a little bit more in those just kind of poking situations.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to poke forever like that, but you're definitely right. Like, energy conservation is going to be a very important thing to pay attention to moving forward here. Tetno and Net doing a good job bullying the lane. Hundor and Keanu doing their best to try and just hold this out. I mean, we're 8 minutes in. We have 1 kill. Net worth pretty even overall. These teams just really want to get their items levels before committing to these fights, but we do have the tools that we talked about before. Gauntlet is available and ready to go, so I'm quite curious to see. I mean, did G2 look to take a fight here?
You do look to take a fight, and the thing is, Palmator, if you look at his item, he's already got the reflex block. Techno JJ is able to lose offensive out. Net Toilet, once he overdrives his Githian Wall is perhaps also able to escape as well. Oh, hang on, this could be it. This could be the
Yeah,
engage
so
they're
that's
looking
not
for.
good. Fearsome Shade and Dark Potato taking a lot of damage. Gaunt's down. Dark Potato, he's trying to reposition. He kites over the top. They take it out. Palmatoro. Dark Potato kiting backwards. He's doing the best. Oh, it's the best ram I've ever seen. Dark Potato playing like the legend that we know he is. Look at him. That was such a studly move.
It was so studly. Absolutely there. And the thing is, we saw the gauntlet. It was a really nice gauntlet, so Palmatar wasn't able to reflex block out in time. Just caught right on the edge there. And I think what we saw was, oh no. Oh, Net Toilette.
Oh, Net Toilette.
He's able to escape though.
Hundor's like, yeah, sorry, bro.
I gotta just go back.
He shows mercy.
He does. A merciful god there. The thing is, I feel like in that last team fight, they were all so focused on trying to get down Dark Potato. He's got that barrier. He's so, as that rhyme, you're fighting at melee range. That's exactly what that rhyme's playing into. And then also you have this issue of Hundor. He's so mobile on that edges. He's able to dodge attacks. And the thing is with Fnatic, there is not that much reliable crowd control on their side. There's a lot of skill coming out from those just, getting that impale, getting the Ordained off. That's a very tricky situation to be placed in those team fights.
It really was, and I thought they had Dark Potato in the beginning of that fight, but you're right, his sustain, the fortified health is just so much. I'm really curious to see if he goes for the Evil Harvest or if he upgrades his boots and his next purchase, though, as he starts to accrue some of the gold towards the next item purchase. We do have Fnatic as 3 up in the lane. Palmatoro kind of looking for an opening right now. Net Toilette waiting for a target that he can impale. Waiting for someone to walk down where he can Githian wall them nicely. Ordained out. It's not going to connect us. Hundor stands his ground, just farming here. A lot of farming coming out. 113 last hits for Hundor to the 115 of Tetno JJ. This is just a big farm fest.
Yeah, it's all a big farm fest. They're all just kind of outstripping the 10 to 1 CS per minute there. But Palmatoro, he's been throwing out a lot of those bad mojos. He too is also very low on energy, and he too is just on that, well, he is just on that energy bastard, so he can't really commit to a full fight if G2 force one at this point.
I don't feel a huge damage threat out of Hundor at the moment, just as at least the current playstyle of the last minute or two with just the chakrams coming out. I know he's mostly just trying to last hit, but he's just on to Tetno, not a huge amount of damage coming out, not bursty at all. But this could be a movement from Fnatic, and actually it's going to be the Impale. They're on the Keanu. That's not really the target they wanted. They're going to block off the Ordain as to get back Hundor. Put a lot of damage out on the Tetno in return. There's that chakram you're looking for. Now Dark Potato's made his way up. He does have his boots ready to go if they want to move forward. Fountain available for both teams right now, though. I think they should know this and they should play around it as they move forward, but I expect some sort of play to be made.
I just expect G2 to be pushing up the lane here. I mean, Palmator, he's so low on energy. I'm not sure he can clear the wave if G2 push it right into that turret. And we do see Techno GJ coming up here. I mean, to be honest, that last situation there with Fnatic just consistently pushing at that turret, that's kind of what they want to be in. Palmator just being able to throw out those bad mojos time and time again. Because it just forces... What?
Net just doing net things.
I didn't see that. I'm kind of sad about it.
Nah, it's okay. It was just a cheeky impale that he missed.
Oh, there. I mean, if you look at the items that they just picked up there on the side of G2, I think all three members picked up major items there. Ultimate Pauldrons on Keanu. Dark Potato got the Eve of Harvest, so that's a lot of sustain coming towards him. He's going to be even more difficult to kill. And I think Hundor, what did Hundor get? I feel like he got an infusion and something else.
I really wasn't paying attention to the items at that point.
Oh, there's a lot of items.
Gotta be honest. Maybe he completed the Aegis. I don't know if he had that before. This is a interesting situation here.
Exciting. Is that riveting coming out from?
Honestly, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, this could just blow up at any moment. They're just out of the turret. Why not? Why not take out the turret? Okay, Atlas Pauldron applied onto Hundor. Hundor taking a lot of damage. The Valkyrie is down. Hundor standing his ground, throwing the chakram, trying to get back, trying to reposition. You get the fountain. The Crucible comes through as well. It's Tetno JJ dropping low, and Tetno on the run. G2 has the advantage. They're going to move forward onto Palmatoro. Dark Potato frontlining for his team. Ordained is there. Hundor jumps onto the turret. Will take it out. Let's see if they can find a kill on the way out. They definitely dominated the fight and get the objective out of it.
They do, they get a turret. And I just want to, so we were saying before, Palmator there with that Ordained has the ability to cancel the gauntlet, and that's what happened at the start of that team fight. It took a major part of the engage out. Unfortunately, Dark Potato, he was able to sustain a lot through that fight. He was looking very low, but they were able to turn that around. And what happened was that Fnatic were the ones that were forced back. They were pushed back very, very low there. Techno JJ doesn't have that much, as much defense, wasn't able to sustain.
Oh, Net Toilet, the nicest, most beautiful toilet I've ever seen play Vainglory. Just stole that with an impale. It's unbelievable plays.
Irritating for G2. Extremely irritating. Just a 1K
I would say
goal.
that's tilting right there. That's borderline tilting.
It is a bit tilting, but I think G2 know that in the team fight they are coming off better, so I'm sure they can come back from that mental tilt of having that gold mine being stolen.
Wow. Net Toilet, honestly, he makes... I think I know it sounds like I'm kind of joking a little bit, but I swear to you guys, this guy makes almost more plays than anybody I see. In both EU and NA, Net Toilet, he's one of the best captains out there right now in this scene. Just really, actually, like, legitimately a very good player.
Yeah, so he's been on the scene for so long as well. It's actually really impressive. I think like Fnatic, so we do see Techno JJ and Palmator, they're both infused. Thunder's level 9 infusion is about to run out, so this puts Fnatic in a really good position to be pushing for a team fight or pushing for an objective such as that first heart, which is still standing there for G2.
A lot of damage output on both teams. Both teams have a little bit of disable. Let's see if they can connect. Can the reflex blocks be used as needed here? Kraken has awakened, and it's still 1-2. G2 move forward. Keanu sees Net. Net sees Keanu. Bad Mojo's not going to connect Keanu on the front side for his team. Flares coming out from both sides. Not sure they have vision on Dark Potato and Hundor, but they will very shortly. There's your flare. Techno looking for a target. On point connects onto Hundor as Hundor spams his chakrams out, trying to connect onto these big key targets. He actually has a bone saw now, so we'll see if he can put that to use here. He's trying to take out, burn through some of that armor. Plus, there's double Atlas he has to deal with at this point. Dark Potato taking a lot of damage. The Gauntlet's down.
No.
They're going to be able to stun up Palmatoro as they move forward. There's your Valkyrie connecting, but Palmatoro, so much regeneration. He throws the Bad Mojo. He kites back, but who is it? It is Hundor over the top side, but Dark Potato's regenning. He has the fortified health. He's doing his best. Can we get a kill in the enemy trade?
No!
Kills coming EU, and when they come in spades. Keanu Nakoa doing his best. He'll go down at the end. Fnatic with the ace. 3-1 trade. And that is just, it's so nice. You know, we didn't have kills for quite a while, but we get them all at once.
I feel like mechanically that was an excellent team fight coming out from both of the teams. Like just in terms of how they were engaging, how they were moving around the map, the way they were using the skills. I mean, it was, and at the end how they split. So I mean, there's a lot of focus being placed on Palmator. He got stunned by the gauntlet, but he was able to escape thanks to Net Toilet keeping him safe. And Techno JJ at the end there with the execute. I mean, that looked extremely tense. I honestly thought Hundor was going to be the one coming out on top there in that team fight against Techno JJ. I was so surprised when Techno was just managed to win that. But he had that breaking point. He was on Dark Potato the whole time.
Yep.
And then turned all those stacks onto Hundor, which was how he was able to win.
I think that's really the difference. You know, that was kind of a pretty sustained fight, and one had a breaking point and one didn't.
Oh, yeah, that is what it is. And we do see Fnatic now. They're sitting with a very small 1K gold lead. And I mean, the Kraken is available. Everyone's looking very good for Fnatic right now. However, they are the ones that are behind on infusions currently.
Rotating around the backside. Sneaky little rotates from the sneaky little players. Fnatic. You have superior positioning at this point. Well, maybe it's inferior positioning, but it feels superior at this point. It's more that they are dictating the pace and the positioning of the game. G2 are going to move down. Scout Trap popped off. Fnatic know where G2 are rotating from. The flare is going to come out of G2. That's an infusion on actually both sides. The gauntlet is going to come down. Who is your target? Techno JJ. Rose offensive over the top. A lot of damage coming out. He needs to lock on. He's on to Hundor, but he's taking a lot of damage. Rose defensive. There comes the healing. Can they keep him alive? Hundor able to take him down. How did Keanu get that? Keanu actually got it, but the damage coming from Hundor and Dark Potato. Dark Potato with broken his stacks. And Net Toilet, last man standing. No surprise there. There's no way they're going to chase him down. Net Toilet, oh my god. Are you ready?
He's going to steal this.
Steals? Let's show. Flush him down the toilet, bro. Flush him down the toilet. Let's go.
No!
Oh, Net, come on. That's not what we wanted.
That's not what we wanted, but the team fights. Every single time they're just going completely different way there. I mean, it looked so close there for that last team fight there, but they were able to focus on Techno JJ in the end.
And that was it was so close, right?
Yeah, because in the team fights, if they're fighting Fnatic, the last, you want to be taking out Techno JJ first. Because Palmator, he doesn't have a broken myth, he's just got that Shower Glass and the clockwork. Ultimately, in a sustained team fight, he's not going to be winning those. It's coming down to Techno JJ. If they're able to focus him down at the start, that is just GG there for G2.
All right, can we have a GG for G2 as they march forward with the Kraken? She is mad. They are onto the choke point turret here, doing good work. Fnatic poking onto G2 just a little bit. There's going to be your gauntlet actually coming down, stunning up Net on the edge. Can they get back out of this one? No! They've lost Net to Net. They're not going to have a fountain here. Palmator connects with the Bad Mojo and the Ordained coming out onto Keanu, but it's Dark Potato and Hundor onto the Vainglory turrets. A Rose defensive back, Tetno and Palma should be okay on this one. G2 going to back out as the Kraken has fallen. That was a very scary fight.
Very, very scary fight there, and I feel like G2, they weren't able to turn and pick up the last 2 kills there with Techno JJ and Palmator, but the fact that they were able to take the net toilet so quickly is very, very scary. And I feel like right now, going back to the issues before, is that Hundor and Dark Potato together, they are very difficult to kill. Like, extremely difficult. They're so tanky. They're like, especially Hundor, he is so mobile, and Dark Potato effectively acting as just another front line there, along with Keanu, just to keep Hundor alive and just to use his roots to slow down the members of Fnatic. It's a very scary position right now.
They also have a triple Atlas Pauldron. There you go. It's so hard for Tetno in these fights. Like, are you kidding me, dude? He has to avoid the stuns, the gauntlet walls, he has to block off an Atlas Pauldron, and he has 3 to worry about, so his positioning, it just has to be like absolutely perfect in these fights. It's really beautiful for G2 is that Dark Potato, he has massive damage output, but he just stands his ground because he's so tanky. Hundor has massive damage output, but he's a little more elusive, so it's like you lose focus of Hundor. It's very easy to try and switch targets, but when Hundor jumps back out, like you have to switch immediately. Fnatic kind of failing in regards to that in the last fight. Let's see if they can keep focus and target focus one of these G2 members down in this next fight. Infusion coming out for Keanu. Everybody's infused across the board.
Everybody is infused.
Let's just say that.
What I'm thinking is that now Palmator, he's got that piercing shard. And I think it's not until he gets that broken myth that they're really in a good position to be fighting. And I don't know if this game's going to go on long enough for him to get to that point where he gets that broken myth, or if G2 can close that game out in time. And especially the Kraken coming out now, he's still a fair bit of gold behind, and Hundor is going in.
Hundor just shot step in with the chakram. They just start lighting Net up. I mean, they're looking for one of these key targets, but why not? And they're on to Tetno. They're going to be able to block off one Atlas, but there's another one coming through. Dark Potato, he's on to Tetno. Tetno trying to run, trying to get away. Hundor trading a lot of damage. The chakram coming through. Tetno's on the backside, but it's Palma frontlining. Palma's able to get the kill. They take Hundor down. Now the Potato, you need to make some plays, but he's rooted into place. EU Trance. I'm not kidding you. EU Trance are the most OP in the world. On point misses. Dark Potato still alive. Palma Toro's here. He's trying to throw the Bad Mojo. Ordain's in there. Dark Potato trying to stand his ground. The fortified health is OP. One more Winter Spire. It's not enough. Keanu. He's the last man standing. Look at this. Palma Toro. And Nets will let winning the fight that they needed to win 22 minutes. And they're going to get a Kraken. I'm just like shaking my head. What?
My heart rate just spiked there, I think, after that team fight. Just positionally, it was looking great, but then the Crystal Sentry decided to join in, and then it looked not so great there for G2. And they were just, all the Pauldrons came out there onto Techno JJ. The fact that he was able to stay alive so long, absolutely just mechanically incredible just outplays coming out from Techno JJ there.
Really were. I actually, in my book though, well, Tetno survived a super long time. I think he did a great job. I mean, the whole team did a really good job.
Oh yeah.
Palma Toro, dude. Palma Toro straight up zoned and made the plays happen that game. He was the one that zoned out Hundor to the top side of the fight, then secures the kill, moves down with his team, cleans up everybody else. It was really clean. I think also the Dark Potato got rooted by that Treant in the middle of the fight, kind of messed up his swag a little bit.
We all know that the Treant in Europe is a very powerful player in the game.
It's the fourth member.
It is the fourth member. So here we have it. This could be the final push. Could be it.
I mean, honestly, like, how did we ever doubt Fnatic? 7-7. They're down in net worth, but they're moving forward with Kraken. They are taking out the choke point turret of G2, and G2 at an advantage in this game somehow starting to fall behind. But if they win this fight, they could just reverse this move down across the map and end it out. Dark Potato with the Winter Spires forward. They're going to be able to block off the Fearsome Shade. Dark Potato holding his ground. And it looks like in the end, it's going to be just Kraken for choke point turret.
Yes, it looks like, so it's actually a net profit there going towards G2. You know, they get the 500 gold from the Kraken, and Fnatic only get 300 from that one turret there. And they're sitting at a 2.8k gold lead there. All the infusions are still out for everyone. So this is it. The team fights have been so incredibly close every single time, and I feel like G2 are just about to engage because they're just infused.
Keanu's trying the gauntlet. That's a godly two-man impale out of Netfled. There you go. There's your gauntlet. Fearsome Shade's going to catch out Keanu. They have the Atlas Pauldron to fight on the Hundor, but he throws the Chakram. It's the Shimmer Strike on the target. He's right back out. They got the War Treads to reposition him. Hundor's dropping very low as Shimmer Striking goes down. Palmataro making the plays, making up for every mistake, every misplay. Made one two-man impale into the wall. Netfled, who is this guy? Oh, Dark Potato turned it around so hard. They just got turned around so hard on. I was starting to sing their praises, but they forgot. I forgot they're playing up against the Rhyme, and holy balls, they just got smoked.
Holy Nova, absolutely. That
Holy Nova.
We were talking, we're like, Holy Nova could be like a great expression, but oh my gosh, oh my goodness, that was. I mean, that was Fnatic's fight to lose.
Oh.
And Dark Potato, Keanu, the
what
Crystal
was
Sentry
that? I was like, Net just got like a two-man impale into a get in wall. I thought they're there with AoE damage. They have the control. Dark Potato's like, haha, you've fallen right into my trap.
He had the Eve. All three members just right on top of him, and he was just sustaining so much, getting the chill, getting the roots down, and then the Crystal Sentry comes along and helps. Probably the most, such a painful loss there for Fnatic. I'm really feeling for them, but G2, what a win. It's 1-1 right now.
Wow. You know, it's also a win for analysts, you know?